Okay, it is December 18th, and this is the University of Minnesota Shotokan Karate Club regular training. It's being recorded for asynchronous training for people who cannot make it. I am glad again that we have people from both sides of the country. We've got Seattle and Albany, New York, and everybody in between. So, let's start. Pick up one foot, go around with your ankle and toes, switch other way, other foot, other way, feet together, around with your knees, other way, feet apart, around with your hips, other way. Use your legs, pump your arms around, switch other way, cross, twist, look behind you, take nice deep breaths. Kick up your heels. We're going to train a little bit here as we warm up. So punching, put your left hand out, right hand to your side. Stand nice and straight and tall, but imagine the energy is coming forward from your center towards the target. Use your legs, punching. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Round with the arms. Switch. You do the same thing now with your feet together. So put your heels together, touch your toes together. Imagine the energy is coming out of your center towards the target, like if you took the side of a fire hydrant and the stream shoots out of the fire hydrant. The edge of your fist gets caught in the stream and just flies off to the target all by itself. So you don't have to start. You're just projecting this energy, and along that path, your fist goes. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Leave your heels together, put your toes apart about 45 degrees, and you're going to sit straight down. So what I want you to do is keep your head, your tailbone, and your heels in line with your center still in front. And almost every time, people who are not used to this sit like this, which is totally not straight. So get as straight as you can, keep your back straight. Punching again from center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hey, up. Round the arms a little bit. Shake out your legs a little bit. You get pains in weird places if you're not used to this, and we're still just warming up. So, okay, now you're going to punch again with your feet together and toes together. You're going to punch, and at the very end of your technique, you're going to squeeze a little extra. So it's almost, again, the energy's coming forward. It's almost 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That extra little turn and squeeze, and your center squeeze at the same time. So give it a try. 1, squeeze. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Heels in with your toes out. Sit straight down. Punch and then squeeze at the end. James, lean backwards. 1, squeeze. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Kiai. 8, 8, 4, 3, 2, hey up, shake out your legs. So you will find if you are tense in your shoulders, even standing here, tends to throw you off balance, and it's way worse down here, trying to just stay centered. Your whole center here has got to support you the whole time, and punching air or hitting something, your center would still take the shot, still projects the energy forward. Oh, squatting. Put your hands on the floor, straighten your legs, squat, straighten, squat, straighten, squat, straighten, and squat. Feet out behind you, arch. Pushing back, touch your chest to the floor. Forward again. Pull your feet in. Squatting. Feet apart, kiba dache. Stretching down and forward. Back. Forward. Back. Forward. Back, forward, back, reaching over one shoulder, switch, side, switch, around, switch, and stop. Back to kiba dache. Put your left hand out. Imagine again your center punching forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Double punch. Please remember your drawing arm. See if you can pull through your center, through your leg, all the way down into the floor on each time. Don't worry about how far out you punch. 2 punches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I stand up for just a second. So on these double punches, I can see some of you have a gap in between your 2 punches. And it is a difficult thing to understand. How do you complete one action and not stop and then do the other action without like skipping one and having them blur together? And part of the answer is in your drawing arm again, or your center, but drawing arm is a good key. This is going to squeeze back and twist, and when it's done twisting, it releases and goes back like a spring. So instead of 1, 2, it's kind of a wampum. It sort of bounces wampum, out and back. So see if you can feel that into your center, into your feet. Back to kiba dache. Right arm out. Double punches, pull and bounce. 1, wampum. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Tie up one more time, shake out your legs, around the arms. Back to kiba dache. Put out your left hand I'm a mirror. You're going to pivot to your left and punch with your right, switching into front stance. 1. Then, so you're not all the way straight sideways. You're kind of 30 degrees, 45 degrees. Back to center, double punch. 2. Then to this side. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Please remember to switch your feet so that you switch all the way into a front stance. Please also remember your drawing arm. It pulls down into the floor each time. And finally, remember that the front part of your body has to impact the target. So some of you maybe look a little neutral or backwards. Going that way. And then here, you're just holding on. And here, this is too neutral. Let it come forward. Imagine you're hitting something. Your body has to take that shot. So this is forward, 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 forward. Even though I'm telling you to make pressure into the back leg, into the ground, imagine your weight settling into the target each time. Left hand out, back to kiba dache. Punching with your right toward your left. 1. Back to center. 2. Forward, forward. 1. Forward. 2. Forward, forward. 1. 2. 1. 2. 1. 2. 1. 2. Kiai over there. Kiai in the second punch. Check out your legs. Stretching over to one side. Switch, 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 switch and drop down. Switch, 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 and switch. Stay on the side. Rotate all the way over. Stretch the outside of your thigh. Breathe deep. Back, over. Back, over, back, over, and back. Switch. All the way over. Stretch the outside of the thigh. Breathe deep. Back, over, back, over, back, over, and back. Feet in, squatting. Straighten your legs and stretch down. Roll up. Round with your hip. Switch. Side. Squeeze one knee up to your chest. Squeeze it in towards center. Switch. 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 And switch. Reach around behind. Grab your ankle. Pick it up as high as you are comfortable. Switch. Switch. And switch. Turn. Straighten uniforms. Now it's hot. Let's see. Rachel, are you in Albany, New York? Do you have a foot of snow?
We have 28 inches.
Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. It looks like it's going to be a white Christmas. It's not going to be above freezing at all this week.
No, we're not going to get that. It's going to be, it was 37 or something today. It's going to be that again on Sunday.
It's 25 out here was the high today. It's really nice. It was really nice to have a snow day yesterday.
So maybe you brought Minnesota weather with you to Albany, New York.
Maybe so.
James and Malia, does it rain there? Slush?
It's been cold and wet.
But that's just kind of the way it is there.
Kind of the way it is, that's right.
All right.
The best of the Pacific Northwest.
And Yufeng, when we get off or at the end of class, James lived in China for 8 years, so he wanted to talk to you.
Oh yeah, sure.
James up there. He's up there for me. I don't know where he is for you.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. We're going to do some kicks to warm up, just in place a little bit, and then we're going to do a bunch of kata, because I feel like we've been slacking on kata lately. Kata because there's not a lot of room, but, I mean, I actually have a lot of room, but you guys all don't. So anyway, bend your knees, put your hands on your own solar plexus and put them out in front so they're here. You're going to keep your shoulders down, your body straight. Just pick up one knee to touch your hand, and then the other knee. 1, down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now you get a front kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Out the hip again. Let's see, pick up one knee to the side, this way, kind of a 45-degree angle. And the other leg up, just kind of squeeze it in. So you're warming up your side snaps. Bend your knees. You're going to pick your knee up at about that same height, just kind of off to the side. Slightly tip your hip and slightly side snap to one side, then the other side. You can do your arms from side to side so you get that muscle memory. So kicking to your right first, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so what I have to stress for James and Malia, and you can tell Malia when she comes back, is your hip doesn't tilt out towards the target in a snap action. That's more of a thrust. So in the front snap kick, you tilt your hip a little bit this way, and you kick. In the side snap, you do the same kind of thing. You just tilt, and that's the whole kick. It's just a rising, snappy kick. There's no thrust or kicking to it. Another guideline that is useful is if you're going to do a side snap, it is okay to turn your hips towards the target, because that's where this space is to pick your leg up easily. Then it just stays there as you snap. Nope. You pick your knee up just fine. Nope. Lightly kick. Nope. So you get this far, and that's great. And then every time you're putting your butt out and trying to thrust. And I'm saying, nope, still too much. Push down and up. Down and up. It's just a light snap. Still too much. Nope. That's an in. You want to go up and down. So what I was starting to say is on a side snap, it's okay to turn your hips towards the target. On a side thrust, you turn your hips away from the target to allow yourself to finish your thrust. So that's kind of a big over-exaggeration, but it's true. As you get better at the kicks, there's less deviation from side to side. And the difference, it tends to be more on what you do on the inside, whether it's a snap or a thrust. But anyway, let's try a roundhouse kick. This is a little weird to learn. You're going to put your heels in with your toes out and your knees out, so they stay far, far apart. You're going to push down on one side, pick one side up, and your leg comes around and then goes back down with your knees still far apart. At no point does your knee come in and kick, or kick and then drop in and then go back. It stays out like you're going around something. So do your best to do that and see how it goes. Your arms can stay in front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so here's a couple things on this, just a couple. Your head and shoulders and arms are going to stay stable. So if you find yourself picking one arm up, and that's not what I want you to do, this stays stable, your hips move underneath, around, around. Specifically, Maria and maybe James and Emily, I didn't see, your support hip has to bend and come around for the kick. If you try to keep this straight and kick, you'll strain something and you'll miss being able to twist your hip into it. That was much, much better, James. Your right leg kick is doing a little bit better than your left. That was better. Let's try a few more of these, because so far this was our biggest problem. Knees out, body up, shoulders stable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go. Not bad. We're going to back thrust backwards. We're going to start with your feet together. You're going to bend your hips and stick your butt out and thrust towards the target and then put your foot back. What I want to say, I guess, is don't let your hip travel towards the target this way. That's a different thing. This hip instead is going to squeeze down into this leg, into the floor, so it cranks that way when you thrust. On the inside, it'll squeeze like a rag twisting, squeezing. Do your best. People who've been around a while, you can do your arms also from side to side. It's kind of like an augmented block. When you kick, then it switches to the other side and you kick. So again, that's a muscle memory thing. So you don't find yourself kicking with your arms flopping around. That would be silly and perhaps hazardous if somebody's trying to punch you. All right, kicking, bend your legs. I don't care what leg you do first. Bend and push down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pretty good, John Noel. You need a little bit more time to thrust, though. I feel like you're quitting just before you get there, and there's a little bit more extension to it. Better? Side thrust. This is the hardest one, which is why I left it for last. It coils like the side snap does, and it pivots to thrust like the back thrust that we just did. So if you can remember this position, after this, you want to go almost that far, and you can go that far if you need to. So what I would really like for you to do, though, is make sure that you keep your knee up as you kick. Don't let your knee drop. So your foot and knee, they don't do this. For a few reasons. One is it's a weird torque on your knee, but also it takes your hip out of alignment. So maybe you can see, if I start to switch these, my butt goes out. And I want to stay in line as I thrust. Try your best, 2 counts. You're gonna pick your knee up on 1, thrust on 2. Knee up, 1, 2, pivot and thrust. Come back. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Yeah, that was better. Maybe stretch forward this way. Switch feet. Switch feet, reach up. Switch feet, reach it up. Switch feet, twist to the outside. Switch. Okay, only one more warm-up thing. Knife hand blocks in back stance. So in place, it's actually relatively easy. So we're going to try that a few times. Put your right foot 90 degrees to the side. Put your left foot so your heel is directly in front. And you're going to coil your arms. So your right one points forward, your left one's up by your ear or on your shoulder. You're not going to go anywhere. So the biggest problem here is people step forward and they took their weight off this leg and then they try to get it back and it's too late. All you're going to do is increase the pressure down and put your foot out. So it's going to feel very static at first because there's no forward momentum to it right now. But we'll practice. Coil your arms. Pull your right hand down to your center, down to the floor. 1. And you're going to do the same foot again. Just pull back. 2. Pull back. 3. Pull back. 4. Pull back. 5. Pull back. Let's switch to the other foot. Everybody's form was pretty darn good. What I would like to see is your drawing arm pulling through your center actually increase the pressure to this leg. So, not, there, I did it. No, you're just standing here. There's no pressure down into the floor. This pulls. If I release this, it goes this way. There's a releasing of tension. So try to increase the pressure down to your back leg. Coil. Am I doing this right? Did I already do this side? 1. Pull back. 2. Pull back. 3. Pull back. 4. Pull back. 5. Good job. Yufeng, bend your elbow. Hey, shake out your legs just a little bit. Now we're going to switch our feet and go back and forth to each one. So, on this series, there is going to be a feeling that your knees are pulling in and your elbows are pulling in, and then they pull apart as you go out. So I'm in, out, apart, rotating, as I increase the pressure to my back leg. So we're going to give it a try. You're going to just keep stepping forward and we'll switch feet each time. So coil your left hand up, bend your right knee, squeeze your left knee in, step out with your left knee and block. 1, pull your foot back, coil, 2, coil, so we're switching feet every time, 3, so the hand that's by here is going to come up, switch, 4, switch, 5, switch, 6, switch, 7, switch, 8, switch, 9, switch, 10. Okay, shake out your leg just a little bit. Gotta say, everybody again is doing pretty good. I cannot overemphasize keeping your spine straight and tall. This will help everything work better, and the more you slouch, it just doesn't pull together. So keep lifting your head, straightening your spine, even when your muscles are supposed to be squeezing down. Don't let your head bow. Don't let your chest look nice and straight and tall. We're going to try that drill, 1 count each block, and again, concentrate on the making down pressure, and then I'll say 1, pull, hit, 2, pull, hit. Pull this down into your support leg. So I'll do it sideways, I guess, so you can see. Put your left hand, left leg out. 1, pull, hit. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this leg is pointed out. There, rest. Questions on anything so far? Get a drink if you want. We'll start doing kata. Feet together. Just double step whenever you need to. Out. Heian Shodan. Oi. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Straight tall spine. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, knife hand block. We just practiced this part. 2, 3, 4. All right, let's see it again. Out. Kata. Heian Shodan. Oi. 1. Make sure your hips are sideways, James and Malia. And Jean-Noel. 2. Make sure you finish your step, Jean-Noel. You're too short. Bend, push forward. More. 1. Keep your head up, Maria, otherwise it's really good. 2, 3. 1. Hips sideways, James and Malia. 1, 2, 3. Twist your hip. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. Iris. So Yufeng, you had a problem at the beginning of the kata that got better as you went. But this is the example of where it is. Can you please do the second downward block with your right arm? So you just turned and did your downward block. You go 1, 2. That part right there. You tightened your shoulders before your hand got there. So it feels like you're stuck. So sometimes that happened in other places. And then other times it was just fine. And then once in a while, it'd be short again. So try to squeeze later and let it go into the target. Still a little bit of a problem, but it's probably a habit. Heian Nidan. Out. Adapt. Boy. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. Anyway, rest. So some of you have to remember the moves a little bit better. And I feel like James and Malia, if you weren't right next to each other, it would work better. If you just alternate, like one person be a half a step forward, you'd have room to step out without worrying about where the other person is. Okay, try it again. I will count. Out. Heian Nidan. Boy. 1. Maria, bend your left arm a little more. Yep. 2, 3. Turn your hip more, Yufeng. 1, 2, 3. Put more weight back, Yufeng. You're too far 50-50. 1, 2, 3. Excellent, Maria. 1. Finish the block by pulling down into your legs. 2, 3. Forward. 4 knife hand blocks. Wrong foot, Yufeng. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Twist your hip, John Noel. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, Hi, mate. Hi, rest. So Maria, I'm really impressed with your form, like almost all the time. You have good straight positions. The thing you could do more is on the inside. You don't feel like, so you do all the right things. You go 1, 2, 3. But I don't feel like this went to hit the target. So it should kind of go 1, 2, 3. Bat, there's a shock. And that's kind of everywhere. You do the right thing, you just need more body behind it. But again, practicing more than once a month or so will probably really help. Jean-Noel, I mentioned that you twist your hip because sometimes, I guess this is a good example, you'd go 1, 2, 3. And your hip didn't finish. You did a shock, but it was too little. So you're trying to do the right thing, you just kind of need to embrace it more. Let's see, 2, 3. Almost, that was a better try. James and Malia, when you move from place to place, which we call transition, you have to keep your spine straighter and your body in better integrity, keep it together. So a thing that I saw was your hip up, down, too much up, down. And that's super common in a back stance. Almost everybody, you're trying to get some pressure and you lift and you need to stay way straighter. But during the transition, your hip has to stay. And as I mentioned, up, down, it's a habit. Rachel may be straighter and taller all the time through your torso. So I think everybody's doing fine. Let's do Heian Sandan. Out. Gata. Boy. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. In and out with your footwork. 1, in and out, turn. 2. Elbow down just a little bit, Yufeng. More bend, Maria. More pressure, Jean-Noel. Hey up, I rest. All right, let's see again. Out, Heian Sandan. Boy. 1. Turn more sideways, Maria. 2, 3. Straighter legs, James. 1. 2, 3. 1, 2. This way, Rachel. Yep, and then you're gonna turn. 3. Kiba dache, Maria. 4. 1. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Step and punch. Then in and out with your footwork and turn. 1, 2. Bend your legs, Maria. Hey up, high rest. So overall, I think that was fine. Different places teach things differently, and you have all trained different places before you came here, so sometimes an old habit is just different. So this is one that I see quite often, even among our groups and among our region and lineage, and that is people do this with really bent legs. And I've met really good people that do that, and it shouldn't be, it should be straight. And I believe Sensei Nishiyama explained this once, but it might have been Fusaro. No, it was definitely Nishiyama. There are some positions where straight is the strongest one. So let's say I was going to pick something up and hold it. If my back is straight and my legs are straight and my hips are straight, I'm fine. If I bend my legs, now my muscles have to hold it, and it's harder and less stable. This is also true here when you're punching. And the confusion comes from, it's a good general rule, and it is a part of the oral tradition that your legs should be slightly bent. And that's 100% true. Your legs should not be locked this way. That's locked, that's bad. This is slightly bent. Locked, slightly bent. Maybe you squeeze your butt a little bit. Locked, slightly bent. This is bent a lot. This is super unstable to hit something with, unless you actually make a stance. If you're doing something, now you got it. But in this particular position, almost for every action, you want to be very straight, very tall, but not locked. They are slightly bent, they're just not bent a lot. It's true here too of any of the dance kata where you stand up, you're this way, not this way. You're this way, not this way. Just whenever your feet come together, or when you're in hachichi dachi or second position, your legs are as straight as they can be without being locked. And they're soft, supple, ready to move, but not bent. That's a different thing. Heian Yondan. Out. Kata. Boy. One. Ew. One. Ew. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Reach. 5. Knee. 6, 7. Wait. Iris. Heian Yondan. Out. Kata. Boy. 1. Maria, I feel like your butt's out, or your back is arched. Tio! James and Malia, pick your right arm up higher. Yep. 1. Good job, John Noel. 2. Hey, everybody go back. So, on this part, everybody had a really good drive and a good position. And then on the next part, everybody just kind of stood up and didn't have any pressure in your legs at all. So concentrate maybe on the wind up. You wind into this leg, whether you turn your hips or not, and then you shock into this leg and increase the pressure like we practiced here, except now with both hands forward. Okay, so go to here. You got your right arm up, your right leg out. One shock. That was fine. Now increase the pressure to your back left leg. 2. Pressure down. Yufeng. Shoulders down. Wrap this elbow in a little bit more. John Noel, your butt is out. Maria, you have to be sideways, and it's a back stance. 1, 2. Other side. 1, 2. John Noel, that has improved a lot. That whole little series there is way better. 1, 2. 3, 4. Kick, land. Maria, pull your arm back. 1, turn. 2. I go back for just a second. Mostly this is James and Malia, but a little bit other people can know this. Most of the time, especially slow, you want to move your hands and your feet at the same time. So I'm trying to think, maybe Han gets, your arms and legs go in and out. It is easier to go 1, 2, and it sometimes looks more dramatic, but it's not a good idea. So here, after you turn, I think you can see me, my hands and feet are going to move at the same time, and they end at the same time, and not, and then my hands. And if I was in person, or if I had my training partner, I could show you, it has to do with your body weight affecting your leverage, your grapple, your strike, whatever it is. It is true in any kata. I'm trying to think of one everybody already knows. Oh, well, we did Heian Yondan, that's this kata. So it is true here, you don't want to go 1 and then stand out here and then go 2. If I did this slowly, I want to go 1, 2, go! Whoa, my body would be driving my elbow the whole way. My foot might lead a little, but I wouldn't land here and then do my hand. It kind of is an anti-karate concept. You want to use your body whenever you can. On a different time, part of the way you do the movement depends on what you think it is. So, this is an example from basics. If I am here in a back stance, and then I do a spear hand strike, I have taught all you guys to use your hip, drive, and that will adjust your foot, rather than 1, 2, because that creates an unnecessary delay, and you'll lose some of the impact of the strike. But, if I didn't think this was a strike, if I thought this was a strike, and this is a grapple, I'm going to guy the grab shoulder, grab the guy's shoulder or elbow, I might move my foot first and then throw him because I'd have a better base. So that would be a different timing because my interpretation of the movement is different. So there are times when people could argue it one way or another way, but usually either they're just making a mistake or they learned it different and they're just defending they do it different. So I try to teach whatever helps the dynamics the most, and most of the time, matching your hands and feet is the way to go. I see this in Goju Shiho. So there are national and world champions. It's supposed to go 1, 2, where they both match. And they go 1, 2, for no reason. There's no physical reason to do that. It just kind of looks cool. So I would say don't do that. Try for now to match your hands and feet unless somebody points out a good reason not to. So anyway, back to here. You got this leg forward, or your right arm in front. You're going to turn to here and go 1. 1, this is like a cat stance with your knees in and your elbows in. And then 2, out with that little wedge block. Maria, back stance. Kick, punch, punch. 1, 2, 3. Now the other side. 1, squeeze together. 2. Maria, back stance. So your back leg has to go out a lot. Your back knee, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Wrong hand, John Noel. Boom, boom, yep. To the back. 3 augmented blocks. 1. Go back. So this is the same problem we had a moment ago. Everybody's committed here, that's nice. Now when you do this next action, this didn't do anything, but it has to do everything. So maybe over-exaggerate a little bit. Your center squeezes and then shocks to go the way you're gonna go. And when you do it 1 count, it'll be a little less. But your center and your legs still have to drive into the target. And then on the next 2, you squeeze and then drive on each, squeeze and then shock on each one. So do the oizuki. It is your, I don't know, it is 1, 2, 3, 4. Your left foot and your right hand. Yep, and then you're gonna shock. 1, pull together and shock. That was much, much better, James. 2, 3, shock. 4, reach. 5, knee strike. 6, 7. Anyway, okay. So Rachel, I miss you quite often from the side, so I'm sorry if I'm not picking on your stance because I can't see it.
I'm at a weird spot in my basement, sorry.
It's okay, I'm glad that you're here. So I got something for everybody, and it's a slightly different take on the same thing. So Jean-Noel first, because everybody has this a little bit. You're trying to shock when you move forward. So you're absolutely trying to shock your legs and shock so it's great that you're trying. But the shock that you make is sometimes, it's not anything to do with the block, you're just moving your hip to try to make it feel like you're doing something. So you need to break it down a little bit more into 2 counts. Maybe we should all do that. And Maria, please do the back stances. Those are all 3 back stances in a row. And sometimes your back stance is not as good as it could be. And Yufeng, sometimes you pick your hip up, which is not a new thing, but it has to be straighter. So, let's try this. Everybody's got your left foot in front and your right arm out. Do I have to be a mirror over here? You're going to squeeze into your right leg and wind your arms up. I don't care right now how you do it. Do whatever you want. And then you increase the pressure into your back leg as you do your arms. 2. Right now, Jean-Noel, you had that problem. Yeah, that's a little better. Remember your foot? Might be your foot, your front foot. Okay, then go halfway through the motion. 1, wind up. 2, shock. 1, wind up. 2, shock. Then reach. 1, 2, knee strike. 3, knife hand block. Bend your front arm, Maria. Bend your front arm, Yufeng. Twist your hip a little more sideways, Maria. Twist your hip a little bit more sideways, Jean-Noel. The other sideways. Away from your hand. Yep. 1 more block. 1. Jean-Noel, you're crooked right now. Your butt's out. There you go. It's a little bit better. Hi, Rest. So it's really hard to fix stuff on the internet, but you're all doing good. You're trying to pay attention. You're trying to fix stuff, so that really counts. We are about out of time. Does anybody have any questions about the stuff that we did? I was impressed, John Noel and Maria, and of course Yufeng and Rachel. You guys are all, after this turn, after this D strike, you're kind of going 1, 2, 3, so that this is your base leg. That's awesome. So keep doing that. James and Malia, you could learn to do that. Maybe we'll talk about it a different time. So the big problem there is after, and it happens on the side snap too of Heian Nidan, people do this move and then they fall and put their hand up. Or they do this move and then they fall and they put their hand up. And you have to figure out how to generate the shock from your left leg, shock into the target and into the floor. Okay, well, thank you everybody. See you for, what day is today? Today's Friday. Monday. See you Monday if you could come. Bye-bye. Yufeng, you could stay and say hi to James for a second.
Yeah, I'm to it.
James, where did you live?